Today we talk about bad blood, but first we stop and talk about how the New Day could be reaching their end of days. And yeet, Jey Uso is the new IC champion. This is the Dangerous Jobbers podcast. Here we
People have been asking me why, Eddie, why?
I'm better than you.
My eyes are red. I was in the back smoking a joint with the day.
I do still love that intro.
Yes.
I am your boy Stevie Jobber.
And I'm your boy Dangerous Duke.
And welcome back to the Dangerous Jobbers podcast, putting wrestling over one podcast at a time.
Yes, sir.
And we're taking it back. We're talking about Bad Blood, a pay-per-view we haven't seen since the 2000s. But before we get into it, we have a few things to talk about. This is all WWE. And before we get started, I want to say, how you doing? If you could just do us the biggest favor and just, right now, while we got you, just hit, there's a thing at the bottom. If you could subscribe or hit that like button, or wait, we got a little bit. There's 5 matches. If you want to wait till the end, but just save yourself the trouble and hit the like now.
In case you forget.
We'll talk about links later. It's early. But if you just sub, like, just to stay in touch right now, and then we'll talk about everything later.
Yep.
First things first. I want to talk about Xavier Woods. I want to talk about the New Day. I want to talk about the inevitable. They go out this week on Woods' terms, as Kofi put it, letting Woods take the lead. Lead aggressively, I might add. And through whoever's fault you want to put it on, did not pick up the dub. And the story is more so after the fact. They're discussing the loss. LWO pulls up, with the captain, Rey Mysterio, head honcho, coming to apologize for miscommunication last week, and some words of encouragement. Ray, always with the backhanded compliments. No, I'm kidding. X takes offense. He says, first off, like it's we already know it's your fault. You ain't gotta tell me. I know whose fault it was. It wasn't my fault. Second of all, this is unsolicited advice. We're the New Day. We don't need this. Why don't you go tell your son how much cohesion he needs and how much encouragement he needs. Be there for your son, you deadbeat. I mean, it's not exactly what he said, but it's what it felt like he meant. And Kofi got a little caught off guard, tried to, hey man, where's that coming from? And X looked at him like, yo, am I wrong? He's coming over here, talking big to me, giving me words of encouragement because I'm not a singles champion. And then Kofi trying to back him down, and he's like, "Yo, what you think you can talk to me down to? Because you're a singles champion, you're a world champion." Is that what everybody thinks, that because I'm not a singles champion, y'all could just say whatever to me? Am I crazy? Is Woods crazy, Duke? I don't believe.
Is Woods crazy? Define crazy.
Is Woods wrong in his current attitude? Is the direction Woods taking? Is the assumptions Woods is making? Is the math and right to you?
So we're gonna look at it from this perspective. Over the course of the last 3 years, what has the New Day done? Not too much. Not a whole lot. Done a little bit, not a whole lot. Has the New Day been New Day? They have not been. Now, I'm not going to point fingers. I'm not going to have somebody take blame as to whose fault it is or what happened. But some things needed to change. Some things need to. The New Day can't keep New Daying all the time. They gotta change it up a little bit. They gotta make some changes, and I believe that Woods is on the right track here. Woods knows what needs to be done. We've tried it this person's way and it worked. We've tried it this person's way and it worked. But now we're still doing it these two ways and it's not working no more. Times have changed, So now we got to freshen it up a little bit. Take a new approach. Maybe we got to go into the woods a little bit. So Woods is not wrong. And I think he made the right step by letting the old man, the old legend know, the old deadbeat dad that yeah, this ain't what you think it is. And you gonna
do you got Woods this coming Monday?
Yeah. I'm gonna go Woodsy. I'm gonna think some debauchery is gonna take place in this match. Something's gonna happen, and Woods is gonna take advantage and get it done the way he wants to get it done.
You know what, Woods? Give him the consequences.
Do what you need to do.
That's what I feel. That's what I believe.
I believe he needs to do what he needs to do.
I believe in Xavier Woods. Leaving that and moving on to another person I deeply believe in on the same show, Jey Uso, for the first time, has somebody in the Samoan bloodline beating one of the Steiners. Is Jey Uso, main event Jey Uso, the Yeet Master himself, goes over and kind of a back and forth. I wasn't really sure he was going to get it. And I'm trying to remember the moment it clicked on for me that, okay. And I think they had me all the way up until the end. I did enjoy the fact that Jay was kind of the only person unafraid of Braun Breaker. Didn't even phase him.
Yeah.
But I don't even think I truly knew that he could win or that he was going to win until he kicked out of the spear. They had me that long. They had a great back and forth. It was a lot more even than I expected to be. Not that Jay wasn't getting whooped, but it was more even than you would think. And after the first kick out, after that crazy Uso splash spot, and then Braun's finish. After he kicked out of the Braun finish, I went, okay, maybe he's got him. And then he ran full force into the super kick, and I was like, okay, I think he might actually win this. And of course, the pop in the place was huge. Some people might say, well, it should have been on a bigger stage. It should have been a bigger build. But my general consensus was they packed out the place. And as long as the roof blew off when he won, to me, that's some attitude era. How long are we in this? 11 minutes. Some attitude era shit. Some old school stuff right there.
You know what I liken it to? Remember when Bobby won not the US, when Bobby won the WWE title on that Monday Night Raw against The Miz? He should have won his first title on a bigger stage. Yes. But when it happened on Raw, it was almost like, wait, they actually did it. That we wasn't expecting this to happen, but damn, okay, we happy that it happened. I think this is kind of what Jey Uso winning the IC title on Raw felt like. It was like, I mean, we wanted this, but okay, we got it on a Raw. This was pretty good. Okay, like I'm here for it. That's kind of where I am with it. I didn't think he was gonna win, but when he finally won, I was like, damn, okay, he pulled it off. Kudos to him. Like I'm
Yeah,
happy for it.
yeah. I love that. I love that they can do that with him too. I think that shows his. I don't want to say credibility, but his reach. I guess you could say he's him, L.A. Knight, Roman Reigns have all kind of reached this people's champ level of fandom.
Like you don't need a title to be the guy.
They come out and you can just feel it. They are the
It's their
guy.
gimmick. It's their gimmick.
Yeah. And I think that really is what it is. Maybe you can include Seth Rollins in that too.
Yeah.
Did they show up and they just have this aura of being like, oh man, that is the guy.
Mhm.
That is the guy, no matter what. So big credit to Jay. Just happy to see it. I was very surprised. I didn't go into Monday thinking he would win, but incredible win. They had a
Nice
banger
result.
of a match. I don't think
Nice
it
result.
takes Braun back at all.
No.
And as a matter of fact, for where Carmelo is going right now after being a number one draft pick and how he's, I don't want to say struggling because that's not the word. How he's fitting into the roster now.
He's paying
I'd
his
say
dues.
he's paying his dues. I'd say it's graceful, not even graceful. I'd be much more appreciative if I was Braun. That's how I want to put it. I'd
Yeah.
be much more appreciative if I was Braun to have even gotten this far,
Yeah.
to be the transitional IC champion in a way,
Mm-hmm.
and have to kind of start back from square one now as an established name already.
Yeah.
It's much easier road than Carmelo was taking.
Mm-hmm.
Where he's kind of knuckling it up with the best of them and taking a majority of the losses to try and overcome in the end. Much longer road than Braun. So I don't think it hurts Braun. I think it does everything for Jay. I think Jay is the right person to hold that belt up to Gunther, which I think was kind of the whole process of figuring that out,
Yeah.
of just who's big enough to hold that title for a good amount of time
Mm-hmm.
that is comparable even to that quality of name. And Jay is the perfect guy.
Yeah.
Jay is the perfect guy. All right, so now we get into predictions. We get into the hardcore stuff. We get into Bad Blood of 2024. Starting with, I want to try and see where this card is probably going to shape out to. They're probably going to end with the Hell in a Cell, I would guess, right?
Mm.
Or do you think they keep Cody at, because it's not a title match, isn't it?
No, Cody
Is
is
Cody
the
on the
main
card?
event.
Cody,
Cody's on
Cody
the card,
Roman.
yeah.
Oh no, yeah, it's Roman.
Mm-hmm.
It's Roman.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, I don't believe. See, if it was Cody versus the Bloodline, maybe the opener. But but Cody and Roman,
Yeah,
main
that's your
event.
main event right
Main
there.
event. Roman doesn't start the show.
Yeah.
That's how you know he's the real tribal chief.
Mm-hmm.
Said the same thing about Fatu. But that's for another time. All right, so maybe we'll open up with Damian and Finn.
Yeah, Judgment Day tends to have a run of opening the shows.
All right, so we'll hit Damian versus Finn. How do you feel about the build? Who do you have to win?
I mean, their build has kind of been meh for me, but I think that's just because Rhea was always going to be the front line of that feud, no matter how it played out. So, it's meh. I'm here for it. It's a match. It's good. It's going to be good regardless. And I'm going to say, see, this is tough. I'm gonna go with Damien just because it's against one half of the tag team champions, and those matches are always kind of weird.
Yeah.
So I feel like JD is gonna try to get involved at some point. It's not gonna work. And then Damien wins, and then they move on to something else with the tag titles.
I want that to be true, but I don't. I'm gonna go the other way. I'm gonna say
Okay.
Finn.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna say Finn. I'm gonna say they. I'm gonna say they need Finn to win because Liv and Dom didn't win last time, which I still don't kind of understand. But
Mm-hmm.
it's fine. I still could kind of see where they could get that win.
Yeah.
And it would have put them in still the same position to run this story, but it's fine.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I see Finn needing kind of that validation, even though I do expect them to still be in the tag realm for a little bit.
Yeah.
I feel like, especially because Rhea's been the front line,
Mm-hmm.
that Finn could kind of win here, and then they break even, and then if need be, Damien runs it back one more time to get a clean victory. But I don't see how it helps Judgment Day for Damien to win. I get why Rhea needs to win. She's the front line. She's Rhea Ripley. I get every reason why Rhea deserves to look strong. But as far as Damien, it doesn't do Judgment Day any good to have Damien win. They kind of need some sort of like leader advantage to feel like a
Yeah,
threat.
but I had a different thought on why I went that way.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm just gonna leave it there. Leave it there.
We'll get into it. Yeah. We'll leave that as an Easter egg. Man, what do we feel like follows that? I feel like no, you don't run the Hell in a Cell second to last, right? Maybe then you get the Hell in a Cell, or do we do a women's match? Women's match.
Bailey and Nia.
Bailey and Nia. Let's go Bailey and Nia.
Simple here for me. Nia wins. Too early to take the belt off her, and you're not going to put it right back on Bailey. So I'm going to say Nia wins here, even though they are planting the seed for the Tiffy time cash in. But pretending there's no money in the bank pretending there's no women in the bank briefcase right now. I'm just picking between two people. I'm going to go Nia and have Nia get the win.
Nia's gonna win. We can agree on that. This is a Nia dub. This is an easy Nia dub.
Yeah,
feels
easy
good
one.
to say that. Oh, it feels so. I've waited so many years, to say, oh, it was easy Nia dub, easy work.
I mean,
You think I'm gonna let you win?
I don't know about waiting years to say easy Nia dub, but yeah, it's a Nia.
It's been years.
I mean for me.
Oh well.
But a Nia dub nonetheless.
But this should be an easy Nia dub. But I'm gonna because we got a little bit. I'm gonna go out of my way to fantasy book this. I think easy Nia dub, but I think it's gonna be some kerfluffle. You know, because Tiffany, Naomi. I'm gonna jump out the fantasy booking window. I'm gonna say Tiffany comes out in one of those shoddy will she won't she moments. And instead of that costing Nia, Naomi will come out and take out Tiffany. And then she'll lay out Bailey. And then Nia will win. And then And then Nia and Naomi jump Tiffany. And the seed is formed for the female bloodline. And from here, we will adapt the Tongan twins.
Oh, you gotta let it go. You gotta let it go. You
And
you
then we
gotta
will
let it
take
go.
over the.
Uh,
And she'll be
Well-
champ for the next 3 years.
Way to Crisis on Infinite Earths this mess.
And she'll be the one to beat Hogan. No, oh Jesus. I'm never gonna stop vying for it, man. It's gonna happen. I'm gonna speak it into existence. But no, easy Nia dub. I do expect there to be kerfuffle, but wouldn't it be fun? Because now I feel like Naomi is destined to turn. If it happens to be, because we already know Nia is ready to drop Tiffany like a bad habit.
Mm-hmm.
And Tiffany has come out there twice now looking to cash in or help her, and it just being very shady.
Yeah.
And she would finally decide to turn, and Naomi would be right there to nail her. And then we think, oh, she's saving the match, and then Bailey's gonna win.
Mm-hmm.
And then she takes out Bailey, and it's like it's perfect. It falls in the line, man. It just works.
Mm-hmm.
It just works.
I mean, it does. It does.
You know. But yeah, moving on from there, I think now we hit the Hell in a Cell. You know, I don't think you had the back-to-back women's matches.
No.
So Hell in a Cell, and you know Punk loves that top of the second hour. Hell in a Cell, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre. And now that I think about it, a safe space to have match of the night and still leave room for the main event if you're really doing it right.
Mm-hmm.
Punk versus Drew. I'm gonna give Punk the dub here, but I can't really tell you how I expect things to go. Dude.
Yeah, Punk gets the dub. And I think he's just gonna go in there and try to kill McIntyre. I mean, not to say that that's not what they've been doing since this feud started, but I believe McIntyre is gonna do some kind of bullshittery where he takes like those beads that he broke and like pulls them out from somewhere, like maybe a little sliver in the ring or maybe out of his trunks again, and then that just makes Punk go ape shit, and then the match is over from that point on. So yeah, I'm gonna go Punk here, about a good 15 minutes, and then
15 minutes.
Yeah, good 15-minute match. It don't need to be a half hour, 20-minute Hell in a Cell match. 15 minutes. 15 minutes, they can get the job done.
Okay, is that including entrances or?
No, I mean just like in the ring. If we do the entrances, then maybe 19 minutes, 20 minutes.
I feel like 15 minutes is solid. 15 minutes is solid time.
Besides, the second match is probably going to be the shortest match of the night anyway.
Do you think so?
Considering the last two matches and then the match you got going first, I think the first two matches are the shortest matches of the night. They have to
I
be.
can see that. No, I see Nia being short. I see Nia Bailey being short.
Finn and Damian got to be short too, compared to the
They
last
could be
three
the
matches.
tone setters though. You could give them.
No, yeah, like I mean, yeah, a solid 12-minute banger, and then you got a 10-minute second match.
Mm-hmm.
Lets you go crazy the last three matches.
Yeah. It leaves a lot of room. And one of the last three matches, second to last, the sort of cage match. I think we've all been fantasy booking. We've all been repping for a custody of Dom match. It's not quite custody of Dom, but it's the closest thing we could get. And shout out to Triple H for just giving us what we want.
Mm-hmm.
You know, in our Batista moments. That being Dom hanging above a ring while Rhea and Liv fight it out. He ultimately understood our needs, and he delivered in the best way possible for the story.
Mm-hmm.
And he stuck him in a shark cage above the ring.
Yeah.
And I think one of the funniest parts about this was Dom's reaction and the little things you could catch Dom saying. uh, so how do you feel about, like, is this, are you content? Is this everything you needed from this wrestling storyline? Is this the ultimate? I feel like this is the ultimate culmination for me. Does it feel that way for you? Is this everything you imagined this angle uh peaking at?
Dude, I could fantasy book this match so much. Like Dom trying to drop some brass knuckles down to Liv from the top of the cage, and then Rhea just catching it, and then depending on how high it is up in the air, Rhea just potentially like grabbing onto it, like jumping up, grabbing it, and doing like a pull up to get up to like level with the cage.
That'd
Like
be
there's
hilarious.
just so many things I could picture going on here. But because I said in the beginning that Finn was gonna beat Damian, I'm gonna go a step further now. Is this for the title or is this not for the title?
I believe it is for the title, isn't it? Let me see. Yeah, it's for the title.
Liv wins.
You think Liv wins?
Liv wins on some debauchery, and yeah, I'm gonna go with that. Liv wins because Finn's gonna lose, and if it's not that way, it's the other way around.
Oh right, yeah. One has to. It can't be even.
Yeah, I don't think it's gonna be even.
I don't know, man, because I'm just trying to. Now that you said that, I'm trying to think of how Dom would be able to successfully cheat from up there. But I could also see a situation where, like, she
He's a
lays
criminal.
out and she like finds a ladder to climb up there and try to beat the crap out of him from inside the cage.
And then if that happens, Liv just pushed the ladder from underneath of her.
And then Liv capitalizes and comes away with the victory. Screw that's some scary stuff. That's some Eddie Guerrero, stuff.
Liv pushes the ladder. Hear me out. Liv pushes the ladder. Rhea falls, but Rhea falls like face first. Liv does her best Randy Orton impression and hits the Oblivion from out of nowhere.
The Oblivion from out of that would be crazy. That would be yeah. Okay, I could see that. I could see that like a jumping face plane almost.
Yeah.
I could see that if they catch it right.
If she's athletic enough, I think you can pull it off.
Yeah. They got to figure out how they're gonna land, but that would work. I could see that definitely. That'd be a crazy finish. I like for them to keep winning. I don't know about you, man, but there's something about like just ain't shit heels that are it's everything that made you love Eddie Guerrero.
Dirty Dom and
at least early Eddie Guerrero, 90s Eddie Guerrero. He made it fun and like, when he turned face, but like shit heel Eddie Guerrero, like in the 90s, was like a true villain. He just was out to do nothing right. Like he didn't want to, he didn't care for it. And I think them like sleazily getting away every time is perfect. It's perfect. That being said, though, as much as I would want Liv, I do feel like Rhea wins this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it'll be Rhea being done. Like I see it could go one more with Damian and then being done for Rhea.
Okay.
Because I don't see it going past Dom in the cage. That's everything we wanted out of this.
Mm-hmm.
And with that, we arrive at the main event. We arrive at the Bloodline at the next chapter of their incarnation. in this next Marvel movie they put together. Cody Rhodes teaming with Roman Reigns against the Bloodline. Does this build right into War Games? Where does this go? Does the turn happen here? Is it coming later? What is your analysis?
This is building right into War Games for me, and the way it breaks down is Bloodline wins strictly because you have the world champion in a match that is not for the world title. And this is where another Tongan comes in. This is where another Tongan will come into play in the form of Haiku Leo. Because he's backstage, he's waiting, they're trying to figure out how to debut him. And what's the better way to do it than on a pay-per-view? Especially one you're bringing back.
And you know what? They do always do that when. But do you think then? Because then that's a War Games with no Solo, then, right? Or do they once again leave Tongalo in the back?
No, that's a War Games with Solo. That's a War Games with the 5 of them.
Oh, that's a 5-er. Right, Cody.
Because Solo, Tama Tonga, Tongaloa, Fatu, Haku Leo.
Right.
There's your 5. Roman, Jey, Jimmy, Sammy.
Do you think they're gonna pull them out? Like, I don't think that's gonna be the 5, dude.
What are they doing?
It's gonna be Cody, Roman, RKO, and then maybe Jimmy. The first one is not gonna be the one we're waiting on.
But then that's gonna be pointless because then the Bloodline's gonna win.
Yeah, but then what do you do with KO and Randy? You know what I'm saying? They're just kind of there now. If they're not going into War Games,
you don't even need. You don't even need both of them. You can only use one of them, and then just have the other ones tie in.
Hikuleo, you're gonna need a 5th man for that team, and it's gonna be Jimmy because they got 4 of them already. It's not gonna be the 4 we wanted by any stretch of the imagination, which means they're probably gonna lose the first time, and it won't be until
you gotta
next
wait
year. They're Marvel, dude. Like, what do you want me to say? Like, they're probably going to go into this one because it's going to be Cody with a bunch of his ops that are supposed to be his friends, and they're probably not going to mesh well. They're going to lose. The Bloodline will run for another year, and then Roman probably won't get around to actually beating them.
So you're going to sit Roman
next year
for a whole year.
I'm not going to sit Roman. Roman's going to have to find other avenues to fight. He just won't win that War Games. That's where I'm at right now. Because I feel like they got to lose. They don't even have Heyman yet. You're going to put the whole Bloodline back together from different shows in a month with no Heyman? Come on.
If anyone can do it, Triple H can do it.
I don't know. It's a stretch for me.
See, if anyone
for me.
Say it with me. If anyone can do it, Triple H can do it.
You're playing to my biases.
It's not.
I love Triple H.
I'm just an advocate, okay? And I'm just advocating for Triple H. I know what he can do. I know what he's done. He can make it happen.
You're right. And you're right to say that. You're right to do so.
In a Vince McMahon era, we could never say this.
That's true. That's true. That being said, we should do a dark match on the Vince stuff.
Yeah.
Not done it yet.
No. Maybe within the next week or two.
Yeah. And then I think I'll give what is my general analysis? I think who do I think wins this? Do I think Hikuleo's coming at Bad Blood? I think there's going to be something good at Bad Blood because it's the first time they did Bad Blood in forever. So it could be Hikuleo. I mean, they did the same thing with Bash in Berlin. I mean, not Bash in Berlin. Clash at the Castle for Solo. Why not?
We know it's not Zilla.
We know it's not Zilla. Now the rep he's getting right now. I'm gonna say Bloodline. Yeah, I'll go with you. I'm gonna say Bloodline. I don't know if it's because of Hikuleo, but It's too early. It's too early for the bloodline to lose.
Yeah.
It's just too early. Solo needs the dub. They still need to be over. It don't kill Roman or Cody to fail at a pay-per-view without a title on the line. I give it to the bloodline. And if they win, you know what I've been finding interesting, and then I'll get into shout outs after this. I find it interesting that every time the bloodline does pick up a dub, it doesn't feel undeserved.
Mm-hmm.
And it still does feel like it used to feel like, oh, that's the bloodline. They're gonna win. They're gonna find a way.
Yeah.
I mean, hey, that's what they do. So there's still credibility there. It just still feels like they aren't Roman's bloodline.
No.
But the wins still feel validated. So I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Before we get out of here, guys, I hope you've had a great time. This is when we're going to talk about those links. There's links. We got links down in the comments, and not in the comments, in the bio. If you're listening on Spotify, if you're listening on YouTube, what have you. And it'll take you to a link tree where there's a bunch of other links and all the different things you can follow us on. Websites, you can look at dangerousdriverswebsite.com, IG, TikTok, Facebook, all of the good things. And you can catch us wherever you heard this every week, or just about every week. We do lists, we do weekly reviews, we do predictions, we do, results. So join us next week for the results of the things we just predicted. I mean, it's so easy to just stay up with us. I don't know why you aren't already in the know.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, where have you been? Mm-hmm. That being said, it's been a pleasure to have you this long. And before we get out of here, I do want to give just a couple shout outs. This past week, we were on Snug Wrestling's podcast with our friend Edgar.
Yes, sir.
Who is also on TikTok and IG and YouTube and all of those good things. So follow him at Snug Wrestling. And I want to give a shout out to somebody who made this. I mean, you can't really see it now, but it was on my IG story, and we'll put it up on other things. But I've gotten a Knitted Dangerous Jobbers podcast sign hung up above the pops back there next to the TV. And I want to give a shout out to the person that made that, or the company if you want to, because she sells. Divine, I want to get this right because we practiced this off air, and I'm not in 100% because I just learned today how to say this. Amigurumi?
Divine Amigurumi.
So I want to give a shout out to them on IG. Maybe we'll put those in the bio too.
Mm-hmm.
So you can follow those too. And just thanks for joining us, guys. This has been our predictions. Leave comments, tell us what you think. And like I said, return next week when we go over it. And hit all the links, man. I've been Stevie Jobber.
And I've been Dangerous Duke.
And stay up, stay blessed, and Duke, as always,
stay dangerous.
People have been asking me,
to be the best in the world.
why, Eddie, why?